Hey, it's Joddie Taylor of SnackySays. Welcome back to my podcast, the SnackySays podcast. Today, we're just going to jump right into it because I feel like if I describe what I'm about to do, I'll stumble and we'll be 2 minutes into it. So let's get into it. Today, I'm sharing one fill in the blank. And again, it'll make sense once I get started. So one thing I always have in my bag is a pair of socks because you never know when you're going to need one. Like if you're thinking, really, socks, why would you need socks? You're going to remember me. You're going to remember this when you go to somebody's house and you have to take your shoes off. When you're wearing a pair of socks and one sock keeps sliding down and you'll think to yourself, gosh, I wish I had another pair of socks. That's why I always have a pair of socks in my bag, because you never know. What's the next one that I should do? One movie that I think you should see is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If you haven't seen it already, man, this movie was chef's kiss. It was so good. It was so poignant. Come on, Jody. Poignant? I want to use that word, poignant. Okay, hold on. I'm going to look up the pronunciation. Poignant. That G in the spelling was tripping me up. Poignant. It was so poignant. It was so moving and extraordinary. Yes, it had the comedy that the first two had. If I'm being honest, this is what I wanted from Thor 3. Of course, I'm being honest. This is what I wanted from Thor 3. And what I got, to me, was kind of, don't get at me, Thor fans. I love Thor 2. I didn't watch the entire movie, Thor 3, and I think it's the only one in MCU. Maybe I'll circle back. Should I even have mentioned it since I didn't watch the whole thing? But Guardians of the Galaxy, if you haven't already, check it out. And if you've seen it, like me, you're probably ready to rewatch it. This is going to go down in the books, mark my words, as a classic. From the soundtrack, the production, the acting, the action, everything. Chef's kiss. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. The one webtoon that is blowing my mind right now. Yes, I'm back with the digital comics. I feel like this is the third or fourth time I've mentioned them in the last month. Webtoon is an app. I've since checked out another app, but I'm not ready to recommend it because I think Webtoon is superior. But the Webtoon, the digital comic I'm going to recommend, the one you should check out is Your Throne. It has intrigue, it has fantasy, drama. There is little to no romance, but there are a couple of toxic relationships that should not even be happening. This whole series is a total mind trip in like the best ways. There's like layers and mysteries and complex storytelling. It's just freaking amazing. You will need a palate cleanser, meaning like, it's sometimes exhausting. This is why I tend to stay away from dramas, because I get really into it, and it affects me like it just affects me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, heart's racing. So palate cleansers, like read something super light and breezy, watch a comedy. I am currently on a break from Your Throne. I haven't read it in a couple of days because I need a palate cleanser. I need to catch my breath. But I'm going to get back to it. I highly recommend it. Next up, one cleaning product recommendation for you. If you have a washing machine, particularly if it's a front loader, I personally prefer top loaders. I think they're easier to clean and maintain. Active washing machine cleaner. It's like the best washing machine deodorizer that I've come across. I tried another brand called Fresh, and it just wasn't as effective. Washing machines are very tricky to, is that right? Are they tricky to clean? No, it's annoying, but it must be done. I read a depressing stat the other day that said that women clean 14 hours a week, with moms cleaning 21 hours a week. That's 3 hours a day, just cleaning. And like that's on top of other stuff that moms are doing and other stuff that women are doing, throughout the day. So I don't even have a solution. Let's move on. Okay, next, one song that always gets me every time it comes on. If I am in a bathroom and I'm out and this song comes on, like in the club or at a party, I am run out the bathroom, toilet tissue trailing on my shoes, and it is Lionheart by Garnett Silk. I'm going to put a link. If you know this song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The second you hear that beat and his voice, oh, legendary voice, ugh. That song gets me it will stop me in my tracks every single time. If I'm not on the dance floor, I'm heading there. It's just gets to my soul. Related, one dance hall artist you absolutely must see live and in person. Do not hesitate. If he is in your town, jump on it. Beres Hammond, Mr. Beres Hammond, the living legend. Jamaica's national treasure, as far as I'm concerned. Do check him out live. I've had the absolute pleasure and joy of seeing him live a few times now and in person. During the pandemic, he held a free concert. You can find it on YouTube. I will actually put the link in the show notes. And it was such a balm to the soul, to my soul. Gosh, his voice, the lyrics, his stage presence. That's one live performance I absolutely recommend. Again, he has never disappointed. Every time I've seen him live, it's just been amazing. What else do I have for you? I think just one more thing. Yeah, so listen. One way to really get to know someone is to play a card or board game with them. Let me tell you something. I have seen baby-faced little 5-year-olds turn into cutthroat dealers on some, I said, go fish. It is amazing how you get to know if you haven't tried this, do it with someone you've known for a long time who you think is an absolute sweetheart. And tell me how that works out for you. I've played Monopoly and spades, just like, you think you're sitting down to a little friendly competition. No. You will really get to know somebody when you play certain games. I'm telling you. And it's always the person who's like really quiet and almost innocent and kind of sweet. And then they turn into this relentless, pitiless person. It like cracks me up, but it's also very scary to see. So yeah, those are my one. That was the theme. One. Let me know if there's any like one thing you recommend or that you do or I must see or must try. I might do this again. This was kind of fun. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast episode or any of my podcast episodes, you can check them all out at joddie.substack.com. That's JODDIE.substack.com. Thanks again for listening.